Hello comrades, today I will answer the question of the comrade Will75, and because the question is very long, firstly I will read it for you. So, hello, I am interested to know about how the former people of the PRL look at their past socialist state and if there are any things they view positive or have nostalgia. What are they? I am asking this because most of Eastern Europe thinks that under socialist rule people were better cared for than their current capitalist governance. Even in the GDR, it is German Democratic Republic, to an extent which is more crazy because Germany, as I know right now, is pretty well off, but former East German citizens still miss the GDR. But in the polls I have seen Poland prefers capitalism. What makes the former PRL citizens say that their capitalist governance is better than the socialist one? Is it because of the economy? Is it because Poland historically has a bad experience with Russia, Soviet Union? I am very much interested because I don't see that much polls defending the PRL. Thank you. So as you see, the question is very long but also very interesting and also very sad. The answer is very sad for me. So firstly, I have to say that the counter-revolution in Poland have place in 1989. It was 32 years ago. It was very long time, and of course the conscience of the Poles was changed in this time. I would like to say that in 1990s there existed very strong nostalgia for the socialism in Poland, and this nostalgia we could see in some kind of mass movements. So, for example, in the 1992-1993, there was a mass striking movement in Poland in all these factories which belong to the states, which in the time of the reform of Balcerowicz were closed, or there was the risk that these factories will be closed, or most of the workers will lose the jobs. It was the time of big inflation, it was a time of privatization of everything, and there was a mass strike movement. This mass strike movement provoked new elections in 1993, and also in the time of this strike movement there was a very popular slogan. They shout the Komuno wróć, return the comuna, it's something like this. So it is one thing. And this election in 1993 provoked the members of the ancient party, ex-party, ruling party, who transformed themselves to the Social Democratic Party. They won this election, and also in 1995 the leader of this party, Aleksander Kwaśniewski, he became President of Poland. So this transformation, when in very fast, very rapid, very aggressive transformation, provoke poverty, unemployment, and many bad things. It provoked that there was a nostalgia for the system which existed before, and you have to understand that the Polish economy before 2004 it was catastrophe. All the things was bad, and it was a time when the production was where all the time existed a risk that the factories will be closed, and the people didn't know what will be the future. The unemployment was very, very big, and one of the reasons why in the 1990s the economy of Poland was bad, it was because of the European Union, because Poland starting to negotiate with European Union the condition of joining Poland to European Union, and the European Union decided push Poland to destroy our nationalized production. So they wanted to destroy Polish economy, produce a lot of Poles without job, and after, when Poland became a member of European Union, many unemployed Poles emigrated, and also Poland became a place where is the cheapest labor in the Europe, and they started to delocalize this production to Poland. So I think that this nostalgia, the last example of this nostalgia, it is election in 2001, when the Social Democratic Party won election second time, and one election with very big score. It was more than 30% for the Social Democratic Party, and Kwaśniewski 1 year later, 1 year before, in 2000, he won second time. He won presidential elections. In the first round. In the first round, he gained more than 50% of the vote. But it is the past. It is the past. Now the situation in Poland is different. Poland is a very crazy country. I can say that 30 years after the fall of the socialism in Poland, we have the psychopathy in Poland who now they organize the anti-communist crusade. And there are a lot of right-wing journalists, right-wing historians, right-wing politicians who all the time they organize the anti-communist crusade. It is important that in Poland we don't have communists, but they organize all this anti-communist propaganda. We have to say that we have a fascization of the Polish society. This fascization we can see in the streets, that now the Polish change totally our history, that the fascist the cursed soldiers, the people who collaborated with the fascists in the time of the Second World War, now they became heroes. And also the most important thing, which was the Second World War, in the time of socialist Poland, the Poles who remember the time of war, they remember the occupation, they remember that the Nazis killed 6 million of citizens of Poland. They knew that in the 1944 and 1945, Poland was liberated. Poland was liberated by the Soviet Union, by the Red Army, and also by the Polish army who fight together with Red Army. This army is named the Berlingowcy because of the General Zygmunt Berling. Now, because of this very aggressive, very strong propaganda, the Polish start to change their mind about the Second World War. Now this idea that it was not the liberation but it is second occupation is very very popular. And of course it is very popular in the people who don't remember a war, don't remember also socialist Poland. It is popular in the younger generation of Poles. But we have, as I said, we have a fascization of the Polish society. This fascization, it is trying to totally destroy all the people who openly defend the Poland, the socialist Poland. And they created the atmosphere. I think that I can use this now very famous word, the cancel culture. It exists something like cancel culture in social media. If we don't like somebody, we organize the campaign to destroy him. And the Polish right-wing anti-communist psychopaths, they organize the cancel culture against the socialism in Poland. And there are many they use many methods how they organize this cancel culture. First, it's they search the biography of the people. If you openly support the socialist Poland, they will try to discredit you and say that you say this because somebody in your family was a member of the party, or somebody in your family was a member of the secret police or the army or stuff like this. And it is very easy because the Polish United Workers' Party was a mass party. The 3 million of Poles belong to this party, and of course, using this method, every Pole have in their family somebody who was a member of this party. But they don't attack all the Polish people. They attacked only these people who try to defend the socialism. We can compare this situation to the situation in the Nazi Germany. That there are the Germans who have somebody in the family with Jewish origin. But because they don't speak about it, they don't attack Hitler. They don't have problem. But but all the time they knew that it is impossible in the Nazi Germany say openly the politic of killing Jews is not good, or it is impossible in the time when the Islamic State existed and in these occupied cities by the Islamic State, when somebody say I am atheist, or I am Shiite, or I am not I am against the Islamic State. There are no meritoric discussion. They will come with the sword and they will cut your head, and that's all. And this atmosphere exists in Poland, that people are afraid. They knew that if you have I don't know, intellectual career, you are a journalist, you work in university, you work in the school, or you have your business, or you have something which you can lose, you will never defend publicly socialism in Poland today. It is because if you do this, your life, your career, your family, your babies, all will be in danger because of this. This is this fascization of Poland, and you have to understand that when you say I didn't find people who defend PRL. Yes, It's the main situation. How many Germans you find in the time of Hitler who defend Jews? There are not many. Is all the Germans supported Hitler? Of course not. But they knew that if they openly say something, they will be punished by SS, by Gestapo. They will go to the concentration camp, or there could be killed. So it is one way how they destroy publicly somebody who defends socialism. Second way, it is the strategy of the corporate media. If you go to the media and you said, yes, but in socialism, for example, we have better healthcare system, or we have better demographic, or there was job for everybody. If you say something that socialism was better than actual capitalist system, they try to ridiculize you. They will laugh. Socialism, it was a poverty, it was the empty shops, there was Soviet soldiers in every corner of the streets, and if you are not prayed to the Stalin, they killed you, and stuff like this. And they try to make you publicly the image that you are idiot. So all these strategies are very powerful, and we have also the total changing of the narrative of the history. They destroy all the monuments, the leftist pole, the workers, the communists, the socialists. They promote new vision of history, and it's this. So now, when I started my political activity in Poland, in the many years I tried to how to say, collaborate with these people who remember the socialist Poland, and because in the 1990s these people were there were millions of people, so it was very strong force. Now it's finished. Now these people are very old. Most of them died also because of the capitalism. Now, because of this poverty, because of the total crisis of the capitalism. For example, in last year, in 2020, many people died because of the total compromission of the Polish hospitals. This system, healthcare system in Poland didn't work, and people died. But the rational discussion that capitalism don't work, it's impossible with fanatics, and this anti-communism, it is religion in Poland, and the people believed in the religion, they are fanatics, so the discussion with them is very difficult. So now I think that there are I would like say also one thing important, that I was born and most of my life I passed in Warsaw, and because of the transformation, Warsaw is one of the city which change they try to build from the capital of Poland the city like Manhattan or something like this. So there are a lot of investments, there is job in Warsaw, and you have to remember, you have to understand that that my perspective is different than the perspective of the people who lived in other region, for example Silesia region. In Silesia, especially in the Sosnowiec, Sosnowiec, it was a city of the Edward Gierek. Edward Gierek was a leader of socialist Poland in 1970s, and he is very popular there. And they built monument for him, and it is very it gave optimism that in the time of this anti-communist propaganda, the Silesians all the time they remember Gierek. And in these regions which are poor, there are a lot of regions which are poor now because of the fall of the socialism. They look to the socialism differently, but it is the capital who decided. The journalists who made the propaganda, they lived in the big cities like Warsaw, Kraków, Poznań, and people in big cities, they hate the socialist Poland, they hate people who defend socialist Poland, and it is very sad. It is very sad that Poles today, it is the nation of the crazy people. Crazy people who now don't know what to do, because we saw this in the time of the epidemic, that they loved Western countries, they love USA, but in the time of the epidemic, USA didn't want to help Poland. And President Duda, who is the very strong anti-communist, he called to the President Xi Jinping, President of China, President of the Chinese Communist Party, and he was very kind for him, and he asked him for help. So there are anti-communists, but not against communists in China. So it gave hope that maybe in the future something will change, because of the isolation of Poland now in the Western countries. Now European Union are against Poland. The relation with Biden also are not good in the USA. So maybe because of this, there will change something, but I think that this change it will be very, very long.